I started keto in July and I've lost 35 pounds since then without working out or doing anything else. I've just been eating keto, that's it. I usually lose about 2 pounds per week, but it really varies. There's other elements to it, like it's not just about eating, it's like your water weight and whatever muscle you gain if you're working out, if you're like trying to like be stronger and all that and whatever. So if I don't lose like 2 pounds a week, I don't panic. It's really not about just the weight. I'm making this video to help others that are interested in keto. It's not as much like, I'm not trying to bash on other diets. I'm not trying to say like a balanced diet doesn't work. I'm not trying to say you can't do like full protein or whatever else you're interested in. I just think that everybody should do what works for them, and keto works for me. So if it works for other people, I want to be able to help them figure out how to get into it and like try it if they like it. You know, there's lots of resources out there. I know that like this video is not going to be like groundbreaking, but once I started keto, the first thing I did was look at YouTubers that do keto, and I watched what they eat. I listened to their journeys, I saw their progress, and it really like inspired me to want to try keto myself. And that's why I'm making this one, because I've progressed so much on keto and there's so many things that I like about it that I want to share, and I never shut up about it to anybody around me, and I just need to like release it in a video so that I can stop bothering my family. I don't have a lot of pictures of me throughout the past 5 months. I'd like to make this video to see myself on camera, to be like, oh, this is what I looked like whenever I'm looking back on it. So I can see what the difference in myself is, if that makes any sense. This is my personal experience. Everybody is different. If you like a different kind of diet that is so good for you, do what you want to do. I'm literally not trying to like convert people from whatever, but like if you want to lose weight and stay full and be energized and whatever, and like if you, I don't know, just, I do keto because it gives you increased energy. Obviously, it helps you lose weight. If you don't know, keto is a high-fat, low-carb, moderate protein diet. When you cut out carbs from your diet, you go into a state of ketosis. If you're eating enough fat, you have enough energy to keep yourself burning fat. You immediately go to burning fat for energy after you cut carbs out. It is your new source of fuel, so you continuously lose weight. There are other factors, so if you're not losing weight, it could be water weight that you gained, you could be gaining muscle from working out. There's a lot of other things. So if you're not losing weight, like, you don't need to panic, like, you probably will lose weight next week, or maybe you'll gain more, but maybe it's just all muscle, like, it's fine. I like keto because I thought it would be impossible. I literally thought it was going to be impossible to cut out sugar. I drank so many, like, frappuccinos and ices, and, like, I ate so much pasta, and I ate so much bread and sandwiches, and, like, it's just so convenient to eat like a normal person and eat carbs, but, like, when you make the change, like, it's worth your time, I guess, to give up the convenience and to see the progress. There's a substitute for everything. If you want something and you, like, know it's not keto, just look up, like, keto and then the thing that you want in Google, and you can find like a substitute. It's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be as good, but it'll be close and it'll hold you over until like you don't want to do keto, if that makes sense. Like, I'm going on vacation in 3 months and I know that I'm not going to eat keto while I'm there, but until I'm there I'm going to be keto. The entire 5 months that I've been on keto, I've only been off keto for 1 week, and that was because I was on vacation. But immediately after I got back from vacation, I went back onto keto because it's what I enjoy and it's what I like. It improved my relationship with food so much. You stay full from what you eat, so you don't eat as much. It makes you not want to snack on things because you're already full all the time. After you eat one meal, like, you're set for pretty much the entire day. Along with keto, I do intermittent fasting. Most of the time, I usually just do it, it's like in my normal routine now. It's just kind of how it is. I don't really track it that well, but you can. There's also like apps to track that. I'll be talking about like keto apps later. Like, I do intermittent fasting as well, and like the two of them, you just continuously burn fat. It's so good. Like, it's just so good if you want to lose weight. Keto and intermittent fasting together, they taught me how to actually sense when I'm hungry and not when I'm bored. That's the easiest way I can put this, because I used to eat for fun, you know? Like, I used to eat whatever I wanted to because I could. It just taught me to, like, think about when I'm actually hungry, because I used to eat so much, and like, I look back at myself and I'm like, man, I wasn't actually hungry when I was eating that. I just did it because it tasted good, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can eat food if it tastes good. Like, do what you want, but like, this is what works for me now. When you eat this way, you eat less, so you think more about what you want instead of like eating everything you want. So like, your meals that you have are more important to you. I don't know how to explain this. You put a lot more like love and affection into the things that you make because you know that you're only eating that in that day, and it really helps you control what you eat because keto is a very I don't want to say it's a strict diet because there are versions of keto that aren't strict, like lazy keto, it's not strict, but because you only have a certain amount of carbs, you need to really track like what you're eating, and it makes you focus on what you're eating and like think about it, stop and think about it before you put it in your mouth. And with keto, you can't really cheat on it because it takes about 5 to 6 days to get into ketosis. It depends. It's different for everybody. It takes some people like over 2 weeks to get into ketosis. There's a lot of different factors, including how you ate before, how many carbs you're eating before, what your normal habits are like. So it takes like different people, different amounts of time is all I'm trying to say. For me, it usually takes 4 days to get into where I want to be. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer and it gets a little annoying, but it's just like what you have to deal with. I guess I have a couple like tips if you're willing to listen to me. First, you need to know your macros. When I was watching YouTubers, when I first started getting into keto, like nobody told me how to do this, and I was really stressed because I was looking up different things and I didn't know like what I was doing. But like it's literally as easy as downloading Carb Manager and putting in like your calorie deficit that you want, or like your goal, like not your goal weight, but like your goal of how much you want to lose per week. You put in it all in a Carb Manager, like your height and your weight and whatever, and then you put like your calorie deficit all the way down, or like you can put it wherever you want to. Mine is all the way down because I don't have a gallbladder. I don't usually get very hungry anyways. My problem before was I ate everything because I wanted to. So like I get full very easily because I don't have a gallbladder and because I'm eating keto. So now like it's really easy for me to track what I eat, but like before I just did whatever I wanted to. But the point is, like, my calorie deficit is super low because I don't get, like, that hungry. I really, like, physically can't eat more than I'm eating in a day. You can put your calorie deficit wherever you want. If you put it higher, you're going to get more carbs and more everything, like, more protein and fat. But, like, if you put it lower, you're going to get less. So, right now, mine's at 15 carbs a day. So, like, 15 net carbs, sorry. So, your net carbs, a net carb is your carbs minus your dietary fiber. So you need to have fiber in any diet, and you need to have vegetables. So like your net carbs are what you usually track, but it's pretty good to track both regular carbs and net carbs. But tracking your net carbs like allows you to eat more vegetables because total carbs includes fiber, and there's a lot of fiber in vegetables that you kind of just need. And please eat vegetables on keto. Like, so many people think it's just bacon and eggs, but you need to eat vegetables on keto. So you need to know your macros. And it's really important to track things before you eat. So that app that I was talking about, like Carb Manager, you can scan things and you can see what's in them. So you just scan the barcode like on whatever, and then it pops up, and then it will, like, if you add it to your foods for the day, it'll be in the circle. Like there's like a pie chart, and then it'll show you how much of everything you have left, and it also tells you in numbers. So track everything before you eat because it's really easy to go over your carbs especially if you're like brand new to keto, you have no idea what's in anything. Especially, like the craziest one to me, because it's so like tricky, track sauces and track like soup bases. Cup of soup has so many carbs, but it's just like this little packet. I'm so shocked all the time. I scan these things and I'm just like, this cannot be real, because it's powder. It's literally powder. And then you like read it and it's like 23 carbs. I don't get it, but whatever. Anyway, so just track all of those things. Be like careful and mindful of the sauces because a lot of sauces have added sugar. You can buy like sugar-free ketchup and sugar-free barbecue sauce, sugar-free maple syrup. You can get sugar-free like everything, and that's why I like how there's substitutes for everything. They're not gonna taste as good. I'm telling you this now, but you kind of get used to it. You get used to not tasting things as sweet, and then when I come off keto, usually like I eat things that are so sweet that they're just like ridiculous to me at this point. Like, because I've not had sugar for so long, I'm just like shocked every time that I have something that sweet. It is different for everybody. Everybody is different. My experience is not like universal, but I'm just telling like how I feel when I'm on it. Another tip that I have is plan the meals that you're gonna eat before the next day comes. Usually I'd lay in bed and then I would think about what I wanted the next day. I'd put it all in the app, make sure it all fit my macros like pretty well, pretty perfectly, and then that's the plan for tomorrow. And if I change my mind on what I want, I just adjust things. But it's so easy to go over your carbs by like having too much of one thing or having one thing with another when you could have just substituted for something else. So that's like my second biggest thing after track everything before you eat is try and plan your meals ahead of time. It'll save you so much time. Another thing is you need to eat enough fat. You need to eat enough fat because otherwise you're not going to have energy. Like when you cut out carbs, like you start processing fat for energy. So you need to eat enough fat or else you're not going to be energized. Like, that is just how it is. Like, you need to eat enough fat. There are so many ways you can get fat into your diet. if you look up recipes for fat bombs, there's also like tasty like dessert fat bombs. For me, a big one is I drink heavy cream in my coffee instead of like, you can't really drink regular milk on keto, and like almond milk doesn't really have a lot of fat, so I usually drink heavy cream, and then that's a lot of my fat for the day. Eating things that are like grass-fed, so like grass-fed butter and grass-fed beef, they have more fat normally, so like Kerrygold butter is really good for you, but like any butter is going to help. And like if you want to do more clean keto, you can do like avocado oil instead of butter. Everything tastes good and better though, so that's what I do, but I'm not very clean keto. I'm kind of a mix of everything. I just do whatever I want to. As long as I'm in ketosis and things fit my macros, I don't really care that much. I guess this is like my 4th tip now. Look at other people's progress. It's insane. And then like look at videos where people talk about their experience, or they go over what they eat in a day, or grocery hauls, or anything like that, because a lot of that is going to help you if you don't know what you're doing. There's a lot of YouTubers that I could thank so much for helping me. My first one that I ever saw was Michelle Alvarez. She's insane. Like, she's so good at it. Like, I don't know. She just, seeing her progress made me want to try. And then I did, and now I'm progressing. I'm thriving. I'm like, it's just so weird how that works, you know? I don't know. So I'm like thankful for her. If you're watching this, thanks. There's another one that compares recipes, and his name's Highfalutin Low Carb. I'm going to link all these in the bottom, by the way, because they're too good to pass up. If you're trying to get into keto, these people are going to help you so much. Like, watching these videos, like, it's just like the easiest thing, and it like does the most help. It does the most help. But he compares recipes, so like there'll be like one kind of keto noodle and another kind of keto noodle. Try and make them, and then he'll taste them both, and then he'll tell you which one is better. And like, I trust his opinion. Like, I've never met the guy, but I trust him so much. If he tells me that chicken pizza crust is better than cauliflower pizza crust, I'm eating chicken pizza crust. That's just how it is. He is the one for the recommendations. And then there's a couple of other ones. I will probably link more down below. I probably don't need to like go into more detail about like how good these people are for me and how good they've been for me. Thank you to everyone that's going to be in the description. Like, you have helped me so much. I just didn't want to leave anybody out. Like, I feel like it's giving credit where credit is due. Okay, so my next topic, I just wanted to touch on like real quick, because I felt like it wouldn't be fair to talk about all of the good things about keto without like talking about the risks or the downsides, and that's keto flu. I never get keto flu. I don't know if it's because of my eating habits before keto, or I don't know why I don't get it. It's nothing too crazy. It's just literally you feel like you have the flu, but it's just because your body is going through a change that it doesn't really like understand completely. There are a bunch of remedies to get through it, and it does go away like in the first week. It's just, I felt like I needed to say that it exists before posting this, because if someone got keto flu and like didn't expect it, I'd feel bad. Another thing with that is, I mentioned before that I lost all of this weight without working out. I just recently started working out because I want to build muscle before I get like below 200 pounds. I have a lot of like flab now that I didn't have before, so I'm just trying to like work out and like tighten it all up again. The thing with that is, like, if you're first starting keto, don't work out for like the first week or so at least, because if your body's not used to it, and if you do get keto flu, even if you don't, like, you're gonna be like, your body's gonna be confused, because like you're making a change and it's getting into a state that it's not used to. So working out, especially if you work out like high intensity, it's not like a good idea for the beginning at least. You can go back into working out. I work out the same way that I used to. Lastly, I just wanted to go over a couple keto staples that you need in your cabinet if you're going to try keto. So I just wanted to quickly go over like some of the staples of what's in my cabinet in general, like what I use the most. So I'm just going to try and speed run this. Kerrygold butter, it has like the most fat because it's grass fed, so I usually go for Kerrygold butter. I have so many cheeses. I eat so much cheese. I'm like crazy about cheese. Cream cheese I use a lot in recipes. I try and keep some chicken stock around. I've tried reduced sodium because it's less carbs, but it tastes disgusting and I will never do that again. So I just sacrifice the carbs of the day and I put a little bit extra into the stock, which is fine. I usually keep cabanossi around. Also, I'm from America, but I'm in Australia, so a lot of the things that you can get in America I can't really get here. If you are living in Australia and you're trying to start a keto diet, I have a lot of the same things that you can get. And then I have ghee as well, which is grass-fed butter. Macadamia nuts, they're the most keto nut there is. Sugar replacement is so important when you're baking on keto. This one is granulated, and then there's also confectioners and brown. And you can buy these online. Pork crackle, instead of like chips and stuff like that, like pork crackle is the go-to, right? And then this one is maple bacon, which just got out at Woolworths. It's so good. I can't even, like, it tastes like a barbecue chip, and I've missed barbecue chips, so I don't know, because pork crackle is very, I don't know how to explain it. It's very, like, porky. Another really important one, almond flour. I run out of it all the time. It's so good for recipes. It's, like, so good for recipes, as well as coconut flour, but I don't use coconut flour as much as I use almond flour. Usually almond flour has less carbs than coconut flour, so I usually use almond flour because most recipes call for it anyways, and coconut flour can taste a bit coconutty, so like whatever you're making will taste more like coconut than if you were to use almond flour. That's like the staple. If you were to get nothing else that I'm telling you, you need almond flour. That is like all I'm gonna say. Baking powder. I didn't have this in my cabinet. That's why I'm including it, because I didn't have it, and like I didn't think I would need it ever in my life because I don't like baking. But you need baking powder, and I'm going to tell you that now so that you don't have to figure it out later when you're trying to make a loaf, and then you just get to the step where you need baking powder, and you're like, and then you try and mix baking soda and lemons together, but like you don't realize that you're not supposed to do it before you put it in the recipe. So get baking powder. Sugar-free maple syrup has saved my life. Like, I have 2 different kinds. It's so good. You can put it on your keto pancakes. You can put it in your coffee. It tastes way less artificial than like Splenda and all that. If you live in Australia, you can get no sugar added chocolate. They have a bunch of different flavors. I usually like the mint chip one because it tastes like Andes candies. If you're from America, you know what that means. If you're not, then you probably don't. All of them are very good. None of them taste artificial like whatsoever. They're just like, they're so good. And then they're made with like the good sweeteners as well. If you start keto, look into sweeteners and like which ones are good and which ones are bad. I'm not going to go into that on here because it's like too much. Like I just don't have the knowledge, but like I know that some are good and some are bad. So like those ones are good. And then this is sugar-free drinking chocolate. Avalanche sugar-free drinking chocolate. But that's mostly everything that I wanted to recommend and make sure you have in your pantry before you start keto because it's kind of hard. Like starting keto is really difficult. You spend a lot of money on the products in the first couple like weeks. You spend so much money buying new things because you need to cut out carbs, so like the replacements are just, they get kind of expensive. It's worth it in the end, and then the more that you buy, the less you're likely to cheat, and like it's just, once you get into it, you have everything, you're all good. But like in the beginning it's really expensive, so I just wanted to share kind of what I have in my pantry almost all the time, so that if you're getting into keto, like you know what you need to buy. But yeah, I think that pretty much concludes this. I think that pretty much concludes this video. Thank you for watching. I hope that I could help somebody. But it was also really good for me to talk about keto because, thanks, bye.